Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Neo Racing League Division Alpha Season 3, race number 3, the Mexican Grand Prix. It's our first sprint event of the season, so we should be in for a good one today. Let's look at Jay, who is currently P3. He is half a second behind Rambos, but he is improving by 6 tenths already in the first sector, as he's now navigating through this double right-hander. Good stuff by the Mercedes driver there, second place driver in the championship. So far so good by the South African, as he's now navigating through the snake section, nails the exit, about to cross the second sector line, and is improved by 9 tenths of a second. He is on the way to set a very strong lap time to put himself in the provisional sprint pole position. But we'll see. Rambos across the line he goes. It is 1:14.884. Beats his teammate by almost 6 tenths of a second. Someone is pushing behind him as well. Jacob is pushing on his lap. Rambos has improved by 2.5 tenths, but he has invalidated this attempt, so he might try again with what he has left. Yeah, Rambos has been compromised with that attempt. Debutant hasn't improved, so yeah, he's gonna go to bed pretty much. Yeah, that's his qualifying over. But we're switching to Jacob now, who is improving by 3 tenths heading into the first sector. At the moment, if he stays like this without those 3 tenths improvement, he stays where he is, in 7th. His closest driver ahead is Neo, who has 116.5 and is currently on his outbound. But will he be able to get through the start-finish line? That's the question. Rambos has retired, so he's not going to improve, so Rambos is going to stay where he is. As we were watching Neo try and approach the start-finish line. If he can, no, that's his qualifying finish then, so we have 3 drivers finished, 4 actually. I'm just trying to understand where Jacob's going to finish. Jacob is going to set a 4th fastest lap time. Who's next up on the road is David, it's David's in the first sector. Pumped Mantis then, who is pushing on to improve on his current lap time. His teammate's in 4th place. Where does he sit? 2nd position for Pumped Mantis. Strong qualifying lap there by the newcomer in the Sauber. That should mean we should be able to get 5 lights on the way. Yep, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the wheels are spinning in Mexican Sprint. A good launch by Jay. Mantis is also had a good start there, but look at Rambos, who is slipstreaming his teammate, but doesn't have any room to try and look for a move on both of them, or at least one of them. Bit of a contact between Jay and Mantis. Mantis is fighting hard against Jay through the first 3 corners, and Mantis gets ahead of Jay to take the lead in this sprint. But watch out for Jay, who is looking on the inside, but not going to commit to a move there. Does look on the outside, but not enough space there. But Metis goes wide on the exit, but yes, keeps the position. Yeah, Jacob is in 4th, and Nibidi 5th, gained the position. They've actually lost 3 positions, as I recall. Yeah, Neo got into the 6th place, and Debutant stays where he is in 8th. So we have a yellow flag for Jacob, who has made a mistake in the snake section and has dropped to the 8th position now. So that will allow Nibidi to get into the points positions at the moment on these 12 laps of sprint. But yeah, we can see Mantis pulling away from Jay now, who has Rambos in P3 just behind him. Yeah, Mantis already putting up 119.9 as the first fastest lap of this sprint session. We're looking at the 5 for P5 at the moment, and Nibidi against David against Debob. David is looking on the outside. Nibidi has no front wing end plate on the left hand side, which will allow David to try and pull through. Bit of a squeezing there between the two. but David gets ahead of Nibidi, and the final points position at the moment belongs to the Haas driver of David. But Deba was looking on the inside move, heading into the left-hander followed by a right-hander. Side by side going these Ferrari and RB, who will come ahead, and it looks like, yeah, Ferrari stays ahead for the time being. There will be a double detection DRS once they head into the first sector, starting from the start-finish line. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how the Mercedes are going to approach this one, as Rombo sets a fastest lap so far in the sprint. DRS has been activated. Jay is going to go on the attack on Mantis, and just with ease gets ahead of the Sauber and will retake the lead on lap 3. And now it's about to we're about to find out if Ramos is going to do the same thing. We will have DRS on the Sauber. Doesn't have any battery, the pump Mantis. He's going to fight it against Ramos, but doesn't stick through on the outside, and Ramos will inherit that second place. Switching back to Mantis, actually, who is pushing on, looking in the outside of Ramos, switching to the inside for a late move. Will he make it stick? I tell you what, he did actually make it stick. Whether that's a great move there by the Sauber there of pumped Mantis. He will try and maximize the points for the Mercedes team and for himself. He can. Deepak actually got 3 seconds as well, so pretty much from 4th to 7th it's a level playing field. We see Ramos going on the inside of Mantis with ease, and we will take second place back from the Sauber driver. We have a yellow flag for Deepak, who retired. But yeah, let's see, Mantis, who's just struggling on the rear, he's losing the car. Oh no. Mantis just lost it massively, and he needs to be careful with rejoining on the track. Neo gets through into 3rd. Jacob, his teammate, will get through ahead. Just unfortunate for Mantis there. He could have just had a great point scoring position there, but unfortunately he will have to settle for 5th at the moment. Could there be a driver swap there? There is a driver swap, so yeah, Jacob is staying where he is in the 5th place, so Mantis will take 4th on the track. Pretty good from Jacob. He understood he's not gonna, he doesn't have much of a chance to fight against the Mantis, who have much more raw speed. But nevertheless, JPS has crossed the finish line to take his first ever victory in the sprint, and also Jans Rambos takes the 2nd place. It's a Mercedes 1-2 in this first sprint of the season. Well, he's just approaching the end of the 2nd sector, which is nearly 3 tenths. If only he can stick the 3rd sector, the stadium section, correctly, he could put himself in 5th place there on the 3rd row of the grid. But let's see, how is he gonna do? A bit of a correction on the steering. He actually could have a strong lap there. Oh, he does have a strong lap, 15.2 from the Ferrari, and P5 at the moment as it stands. As we see one of the drivers leaving the pits, it's Neo and David, both Haas drivers leaving the pits. Jacob's on his in lap, and these two are on their out laps. Question is, we will see Jay and Mantis go out. We see Mantis go out on the garage. Question is if Jay is gonna be also participating in this final shootout, or we could see Jay stay with what he has, with this 14.8, which wouldn't be ideal. We would like to see him fight for it, but again, it's his choice. Either way, Mercedes 1-2 at the moment. That is until likes of Pump Mantis or David can do something about it. Could potentially see Skibidi there as well, who is again improving. 115.198 from the Ferrari. Still P5, but not too far away from the 4th place driver. As we see now, David gives slipstream to Neo on the start-finish straight. As Ferrari retired on track, okay. But yeah, let's watch on Neo, who's improving by 4/10 in the first sector. So slipstream worked for Neo. Yeah, apparently set also a purple first sector there with that slipstream. Hope. The question is, how is he not gonna nail the rest of this lap? As he's not going through the S's. And it's currently improved by 0.6 of a second there. Yes, checker flag is out. We're just waiting for the Neo and David to finish their laps. Neo could be for a strong one, potentially for a top half finish there. No, it's P6 from him. David has not improved. And what about Mantis? Improved by 600s in the first sector. What about the second sector? Losing out by a 10th. Yeah, he needs to find the time in the third sector urgently if he wants to be at least on the front row for the Grand Prix. We'll see. Mantis, where is he gonna end up? He's not gonna improve on this one, and that will mean that Mercedes 1-2 continues. There you go. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And the wheels are spinning for the Mexican Grand Prix. Good start, a good launch by these two. Mantis lost out a bit, has David nearly behind him. Jacob actually jumped Neo and Nibali. Got 2 positions, but has Neo on the inside. No, it's David. I apologize. David on the inside. Jacob stays where he is in 5th. Nibali and Neo fighting side by side, heading into the 3rd corner. As Nibali gets ahead of him, and also Debob's now looking for a move on the inside of Neo, and backs out of it instead. So there you go. Strong start both Rambos and Jay, and also Mantis. Also Nibali's looking for some kind of an attempt of a move on Jacob. It's very close on his rear. Jacob is struggling to get the exits right, which will allow Nibali to take the advantage on the outside, and will take the 5th place away from the Sauber driver. Ramos is in trouble. It will allow Jay to close in on him. The question remains, will Jay actually go for a move there on the inside? Yes, he does. Jay on the inside. Will Mantis follow the same way? Heading into the 1st corner, no, Mantis stays behind Rambos. Bit of a bumping between the two. And there you go, Jay will take the lead as we have a yellow flag for Nibali, who spun at the 3rd corner, at the exit of the 3rd corner, and drops to the very back and 8th position. Reminder, all drivers score points if they finish like this. Mantis seems to get a slightly better exit off the 3rd corner. He does have DRS on Rambos. Will he be able to make a move of some sort? Yes, he switches to the inside. Will he make his thing just like in the sprint? Yes, he does again. What the move from the Sauber driver of pumped Mantis. Jay pumped Mantis and Jans Rambos. And look at Mantis. He's actually very close to Jay's rear, which will allow Mantis get the DRS, which is open right now, and will go on the inside. Jay will defend it. He's using battery. Who's gonna heading into the 1st corner? It is Jay, who's been touched by Mantis. There's a contact between the two. Jay is sort of discombobulated, but he keeps the position. Mantis looking on the inside of Jay. Just letting him know he's there. He's looking for that move. He is looking for that inheritance of the lead. Rambos is actually getting closer as well now, bit by bit. Jay makes a mistake on the exit that allows Mantis to go through and take the lead of this Mexican Grand Prix. And Jay will not get the DRS because of that, the mistake. he keeps it up like this. Time will tell. I think Menzies is trying to push using battery in his exits. But nevertheless, Rumble still gets the DRS. And look how much he's gaining on Menzies, who has barely ERS to fight against. Rambos on the inside into turn 1, and Rambos retakes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. And there you go. But Menzies will try and fight it back without the DRS, but with the battery's help. But not quite. But Rambos locks up there, giving it a look for Menzies, who's trying to switch back on Rambos on the inside. Contact between the two, has to correct the car there, Menzies, and has to concede there to the Mercedes there. Time will tell actually when one of those Mercedes is going to pit. And there's an undercut attempt for Menzies. That's an interesting one. The guy who's on hard tire is going to pit. Let's try an undercut. Both Mercedes. No, they're both staying out. They both are staying out at the moment. Rambos is at the lead of the pack. And Jay will have DRS. Will utilize it and get ahead. But Menzies with another 3-second time penalty. He's now 6 seconds to his name. He's trying to get past Debutant now on the much fresher mediums against all the hards that Debutant has. Debutant is going to try and fight it back if he can, despite Menzies having DRS. The question is who's it going to be? It's going to be Jay who's going into the pits then, as the first Mercedes driver to enter the pits to answer to the undercut of Menzies. Jay, which tire is he going to switch? He's going to switch to hard tire, so he's going to go on the long stint. Question is, will Menzies get ahead of Jay? Jay is just approaching the pit exit. Will Menzies get ahead of him? Jay is now approached the pit exit, but Menzies gets ahead of him eventually. And Menzies has pulled out an undercut on JPS. We're watching for Jans Rambos now. The final of those 3 drivers to make the pit stop. I mean, I'm pretty much sure that both of them are going to jump him. Rambos is on the hards as well. So it's Mercedes on the same strategy, but Rambos is on the one lap younger tires than Jay. So yeah, there you go. Menzies undercut successful against these two. Pumped Menzies on track is the leader. Could be inevitable if he keeps it up like this, that he gets ahead of the Sauber and will inherit that position. Menzies going into the pits yet again, and he gets a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. God, that's not good. That's not good at all. That is not good at all for the Sauber driver. Such a strong race pace, but just the penalties, it's just too much now for him. Yeah. Yellow flag for Nibali, who actually lost the car on the exit there of the right-hander. And that will allow Neo to inherit the podium position. Just took my eye for a second, next thing you know. Ferrari's backwards. Or sideways, whatever. But yeah, Nibali's gonna try and recover them. They're both equal on the penalties. Depop has now 15 seconds on his name. Oh, with that penalty that he got. Nibali, is he within the DRS? Is he gonna get DRS there? Not quite, he's just missing out 2 tenths. Almost 2 tenths. But yeah. Could see a fight in the cup in the lapse time between the two. Bit of a lock up there from Neo, which could allow Nibali to get closer to him. This is pretty much the fight for the final podium position between the two. But in terms of Mercedes, I mean, just a phenomenal job so far. I mean, yeah, there was a threat from Mansus in a couple of laps, but eventually Mansus just, not by his own admission, not by his own wish, took himself out of the equation, and now, yeah, it is what it is. And Nibidi and Neo are fighting for heading into the right-hander. Nibidi gets ahead using the DRS, and now they are squabbling through the stadium section. Neo should be able to get within the DRS range of the Ferrari. Question is, will he be able to do it? DRS has been activated, yes. So there you go. Neo is getting closer and closer. Nibidi is switching to the inside to cover. Will he be able to stick through on the inside? Not quite. We have a yellow flag. It's a safety car release because of Jacob, who has crashed out at just before the stadium section. That's just what Mansus needed. Big task to keep everybody behind him, as the safety car has been pulled in to the pits on this lap. Nibidi Skigger is the leading car for our restart on lap 26, with Jay, Brombos, Neo, Debob, Mansus and David following suit. We'll see when Nibidi is gonna launch away, and it would be pretty much right now. Yep, there you go. Nibidi restart on lap 26. And with a J now on the fresher medium, trying already for some kind of move on the Ferrari. Not quite there to make such attempts. Any position changes there? Not quite at the moment. We have a Nibidi going off the track there, allowing Jay to look on the outside. Will he maybe be able to stick through? Not quite. Nibidi outbrakes Jay and will keep that position for now. Heading into the double right-hander. Yeah, what position's mean so far? Mansus is still in 6th, behind Debob. On the much older medium. But yeah, Nibidi is fighting for his life at the moment to keep the cars behind him. Could argue it's a bit more about the pride for him than the actual result, but yeah, nevertheless I can respect that if he wishes to fight it on track. Although he will drop at least 2 positions down. DRS has been enabled, not going to be used for this start finish straight and the next straight. But that doesn't matter, I think, because Jay is already looking for the move on the inside, heading into the first corner. Will he outbrake Nibidi? Yes, he does, but Nibidi is going to fight it back side by side, heading into the second and third corner. Another 3 seconds of penalty for Mansus. Still side by side going, these two drivers, heading into the fourth corner now. And Nibidi still ahead, but we see Neo on the jump on Rambos. But Rambos retakes the position. Debob jumps ahead. Neo is ghosting. I'm not sure why. Is he having an internet issue or something? I'm not sure. Debob was ghosting through Neo, and Debob inherits the position away, but he gets 3 seconds as a result of that. And Debob is now P3. David has made a pit stop for a soft tire. I think he had the damage of some sort of the restart. Debob and Neo fighting side by side and into the right-hander. Goes off the track. Neo loses the position to Mantis as a result of that. A yellow flag in the third sector. And that's quickly removed. But now attempt number 3 from Jay against Nibidi, who is trying to fight for his life to keep that position away from the Mercedes, and Jay is getting ahead with DRS enabled, and now Rambos as well, looking on the inside of Nibidi. Nibidi is going to fight it back, but he turns into Rambos a bit, but keeps the position at the moment. But Rambos will get DRS on the next straight. barely any battery on Nibidi's disposal. He's covering the inside line. Rambos on the outside, tries the switchback, tries another switchback, not quite, but now he's going to be able to stick through it, but Nibidi's not going to give it up just like that, and Nibidi will have to concede eventually. Seems it goes over a curb a bit too much there on the right side, which could allow Neo. Okay, there's 9 seconds now for Nibidi. So pretty much Nibidi. Oh, and then he spawns it on the exit. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good at all. That's very painful. And he's had enough, he's retired. Who's looking to score some extra points for the RB? Well, never mind. We have a yellow flag for David, who retired at the start, finish straight. That's another safety car. Oh god. That's just I don't get it. 9 seconds of penalties for Neo, 21 seconds penalties of Debop, and Mantis with 12. A safety car has been deployed in this lap, Instabits. With Jons Rambos, the pole sitter for the Grand Prix, back in that first place. Fought Jay and Mantis at the first half of the race. Then exchanged with Jay for a couple of laps. The positions. Then was the last one out of those three to take a pit stop and stay behind them both by quite a margin, and now he's back in the lead. And the restart has now commenced with Rambos, Neo, Debop, Jay, and Mantis. Jay is already on the attack, on the RB, and potentially on the Haas if he's brave enough. No, he tries to only does the RB. He only gets ahead of the RB, but he's gonna have much better traction against the Haas of Neo. Neo's gonna fight it back though, he's using battery to fight against it. And on the inside goes Jay. Will he make it? Doesn't make it stick necessarily. Neo just went off the track there. And it looks like Jay is most likely gonna stay at least third. That is if he doesn't make a mistake of some kind. He will get DRS on this start-finish straight. Heading into the turn 1. It's a final lap of this race. Jay on the inside on the soft compound tires against the Haas of Neo, who is still fighting back. Looking on the outside, trying to stick through on the outside, doesn't have quite on the inside. Mantis just spun it round and lost the position to Debop as a result of that. And Jay is 3 seconds behind now of Jons Rambos because of that. So there you go. Mercedes 1-2 still for both of them as it stands. But yeah, it's been a very interesting three-way fight between the Rambos, between Jay and also Pumped Mantis, which we can appreciate. Neo has the 12 seconds accumulated penalties now. Pumped Mantis is kicking himself right now. But nevertheless, with a three-way fight between the Mercedes and Mantis, and the one who's going to come away with it at the end is Jons Rambos, who's taking the second victory in a row in this season and strengthens his position in the Drivers' Championship. But that has been it for today. This has been your commentator, Marchmeister. Thank you very much for watching the stream, and we will see you next Wednesday for some more Division Alpha action.